all look good. Like we match.
Yeah, I mean, hello.
We match.
Yeah, we do play off each other.
Do.
And you're in the middle.
Wow.
Wow, you're a whole
That's
order.
so crazy, and we didn't even plan it.
We had a baby. And
We did. You are our daughter.
That's what I'm saying.
You are our daughter.
You are our child.
Welcome back to Drunken Mayhem with Dwayne and Marbz.
Okay.
Today we're super excited to have our special guest, an old friend, and also like the definition of her. There was like an entrepreneur in a dictionary. It'd be her picture. This is Yulissa. She's been ahead of the game for a while. She has her own YouTube channel and podcast called Transparent with Yuli. And
she's also on Dash Radio.
Yes.
Yes. Who did you just interview recently?
Keisha.
Yes.
She's doing big things. Look, she didn't even know that we knew, but she's doing big things.
Yes.
She has her own clothing line.
Yes, Stella Rose.
And she's actually
You better
coming out
cop
with
her
her
merch.
new collection really soon, which we're excited to see. So we're both, as you can see, we're two big fans.
Oh my god,
We're
like
two-
this intro, I'm nervous. I'm so
We were literally talking before this, and we're so nervous because we literally look up to Yuli because
She knows
so
what she's
good at her
doing.
shit.
And cheers to that. Drinks up.
No, I'm too
Drinks
emotional
up.
for this. 2020, that's just too much.
But we're really excited to have Yuli on today because literally she is the embodiment of her brand, which is like completely transparent.
And
So
just being
you know
honest.
we had to bring her into our little table talks over here.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And also
This
as
is
our
so
first
fast.
guest.
Oh my god. My head is so big right now. Thank you. You know, like when you
We
hear
love you.
people like talking about you, it's just different. Like, oh my god, my spirit feels so alive. I love you
that's so
guys.
good.
But they were talking about failed relationships.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
That's a thing in itself.
Failed relationships, period.
Why
do they fail? Because honestly, they be failing a little bit too often.
Especially in today's age. I think the first thing that came to our mind when we first started talking about this was like social media playing like a huge part in why relationships fail. And I think that there's like this like false sense of like perfection on social media.
Yeah.
So I think that like when you're in a relationship, right, you go back home and like you see all these people posting all their best days on social media and like you don't have that every day at home, and you start thinking like why? And then that's what leads to like all these questions and like hesitation of staying in a relationship and working through it.
Exactly. But also what's so funny about that is that there are situations that you're seeing these perfect relationships and then the following year you hear like they're breaking up. And you're just like, that's goals. But what is goals? Because you're saying that's couple goals, and they literally were in a relationship for 2 years, and everything looks perfect from the outside, but you never know what's going on from the other side of social media.
Like, didn't they just post fucking Fab and talk about like, if you don't shut, literally, I swear, everybody that posted that fucking picture on their story, I really wanted to drop kick them. Because I'm like, this man beat her ass. And you gonna tell me that's what...
Actually, fun fact. Average relationship lasts 2 years and 9 months. So that's
that's crazy.
That's a recycling game.
Literally, back in the day, things lasted a lot longer, but also for like the wrong reasons.
Yeah, true.
Right? So I feel like divorce rates were a lot lower, but because women didn't really have the rights that they have now. So they couldn't work. Where was it going? I've got to a point now that it's like too... I think there's no in between. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like everything is just taken too far, right?
Yeah.
So like people are like, oh no, I'm not. It'll be like a little problem. I'm not working on that.
Yep.
I'm not working on it. I'm not changing. It's crazy. It's like you need to work on things. Like relationships are not always gonna be easy.
Yeah.
However, there's like certain boundaries that you should set for yourself. So when somebody crosses those boundaries, then you know, like, you know what, this is not something I'm willing to work on.
Facts.
But I feel like people really just throw out like every single relationship over like little stupid shit.
We're not as self-aware as what we think we are. No. So when you come out of a relationship and then you kind of like jump into another relationship and another relationship, and so you're not giving yourself time to be you and to identify your problems, right? Because I feel like when you jump from one relationship to another, it's kind of like you're learning those person's bad habits, right?
Yeah.
And then you're kind of like absorbing them as your own.
No, 100%.
So then now you may have your own toxic traits and your ex's toxic traits, the ones that you left them for.
Yeah, and you didn't even know it.
Yes.
I feel like everybody's a little toxic though.
No, 100%. And
100%.
that's the thing. That's literally, we have this like false picture of like portraying this picture of themselves on social media, like this perfect, like I'm this perfect person, or this is a perfect relationship, and then behind the scenes it's like, I actually know y'all personally.
And y'all boring. Either you guys boring, you guys fight all the time, or you're toxic.
Mm-hmm.
But like the real toxic.
Yeah, but you should always express how you feel, and it should always be accepted with your significant other.
Yes,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because how can you grow?
Yes, I also feel like everybody needs to understand that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, right? And not everybody else's relationship is gonna be the relationship for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're in a relationship.
Yes.
I know that, but you know.
You're very annoying.
They want to know I'm single.
And I'm single. But honestly, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, everybody's gonna have their own cup of tea, and like literally that's what I was saying before, is like these boundaries that you have to set, right? So like if you start dating somebody and they start acting a type of way that you're not into, like you gotta figure out like, this is maybe their individual personality. I could work with it though, because they're really nice and they're giving me everything I need. Yeah. And you know, like all of these things that I had on my checklist, right, are there, but he's just not the person that I thought he was, or she's not the person I thought she was. Yeah. You know, like I feel like that's fine. Like not everybody is gonna be your cup of tea, and not everybody else
or at least like your perfect list.
Exactly.
Like there's nothing wrong with compromising with with certain things that maybe wasn't your ideal significant other.
Do you think that we sometimes let go, like as humans, that we let go of good things because we have this false like checklist in our head of like what we want? Like, oh, this is my dream man, this is my dream woman, and if like this person doesn't check off all of these boxes, like do you think that we like self-sabotage?
Of course.
Yeah.
I feel that we do, but like personally, I'm like a little bit more giving. So for instance, I'll like piggyback off your question. Like, do you feel like men or women are like they're a little bit more? They go a little bit more of vanity. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
Because honestly, after what you just said, I was gonna say I almost kind of feel like it's definitely a difference with men and women though. Because I feel like women let a lot of things go because they see the best in a guy. They'll see the potential and who he can be. And a lot of men, for us, it's like a lot of what plays in a relationship is lust and what's there in the moment. Because I feel like men are more visual creatures. Like we're more visual and what's right in front of us. And sometimes, like if things are not working out right away, we feel like there's something better. Then there's a good chance that we'll try to see what else is there.
Because you're natural hunters, right?
Unfortunately, I hate to say that because it sounds like
but it's kind of true.
But it's true. It's true.
Yes.
I feel like I was like that. Like I would be what a man typically.
Because Marbz is low key a man.
Okay, first of all, let's relax.
Literally, this is my closest guy friend, right?
No, I really am.
She's a whole bro because she just like thinks like a man, and then there's been times that I'm like, damn, she thinks more like a man than me.
Well, shit,
I just believe in relationship and I'm single. I don't believe in gender norms, first of all. Okay?
Yes, no, like that stereotypical what people would say what a man is. It's Marbz.
Well, here we are. Previously, I've ignored red flags like in the beginning because like somebody made me laugh and like I thought they were cute, or like they have big hands.
This big hand thing is serious.
It's very serious.
It was a whole deal breaker in most of her relationships when she was younger.
The thing is like, naturally as a woman, like one of my most insecurities, like as a person, is that I have big ass hands. So like when I date,
big hands.
Oh no, don't look at them now.
I'm looking like, wait.
She's like,
that's not.
No. How you gonna make her
He's like, let me see.
Yeah, right.
No, but literally, like that was a thing for me, and that's why I say like I would be like, yo, like damn, like he got little hands, like you know what I mean? But that goes back to saying like, do you feel like women were more picky of a physical look than a man is? I think that sometimes as women we can play more into that vanity card than men.
But it's weird though because it's, to me, the one thing that women will choose, which I do find annoying, even though I'm a taller guy, is height.
Yeah.
A lot of women will downplay a really good man because of his height.
Damn, I'm gonna be honest
and
though.
What bothers me about that is I remember seeing something on social media when this guy, some guy on Twitter was like, a girl hit him up and was like, you look good, but how tall are you? And he was like, I'm this height. He was like, now that I said my height, you look good, but how much do you weigh?
Oh.
And to me, I was just like, he said what he said. Because weight is an offensive thing that a lot of women do not want to talk about. That's not something you would ask a girl on the first date, how much do you weigh, or anybody. But that's something that would be extra, I feel like, offensive to a woman.
I just feel like this literally goes back to what we were just talking about, how like everything is taken to the next level on social media and just in a general sense, like in today's climate. Like literally like you can like what you like, but why you gotta be out here like asking people for their height? Like that's the first thing you gonna ask somebody?
Yeah, but the thing is though, I feel like sometimes people take these, I don't know, I would like to say like, I'm a woman, so I could speak from my perspective, that I would be like, oh no, he needs to be taller than this and this and this. But you know what? I've dated a short king before, and I kind of like them.
I dated, not super short, but I dated like shorter.
I'm 5'5" in a quarter, but like, in a quarter. But like, I've dated someone that was like 5'6", 5'7", and I'm like, you know, at first, I had to kind of get over my own head and my own insecurities, because it's like, why? Like, why wouldn't I date someone your height?
There's a lot of insecure people out there that stay in relationships just to be in a relationship because it's a good look. It's a good look, or how that person looks with them, or how it makes them feel, validation. Because I feel like I know too many people that were with somebody that didn't equal their potential. And it's like, why are you here still?
Yeah.
Even the best of the best.
It's just annoying because I feel like there's literally two sides of the spectrum. Like, I feel like it's two extremes. And that's, I think that's what I was trying to get at. Like, everything about today is extreme, right? So either you're at this side where you're staying in an abusive relationship that's actually toxic and like you're getting manipulated and mistreated. And then on this side, you're just saying no to everybody because you're so hellbound on like, oh, this is my list. If I'm not checking off every single thing on this list, like, no.
No, it's funny you say that because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been in an emotionally abusive, manipulative like relationship with someone who was a narcissist, honestly. And I didn't know. It took me to go to therapy to realize, and even in therapy, like he came to my therapy sessions because I'm like, I don't know. I literally told my therapist, like, I don't know what to do. So, like, I had to like kind of find my self-worth again and like work on myself after being in that for so long. Like I've always been really secure in my being, but this part of me was literally drowning because of one person. So I ended up being on the other side, like, oh no to everybody. But now I feel like I'm in a healthy place where I've worked on myself enough to kind of see things from a reality of things, and it's like, okay, I can compromise on certain things. I've let go of toxic traits that I've learned, and now I'm unlearning toxic traits that I have. So like it all comes back to self-awareness, self-love, working on yourself, and kind of being like a little being accountable for what you do and what you bring to the table, you know. And also
we literally, you know, so I'm gonna cut you off, but literally we were just talking about this and we were saying like lack of accountability is probably one of the biggest things that ends relationships. Like,
and that's in general. Any type of
relationship. Yeah. People really do not want to hold themselves accountable for shit. Like they really just want to victimize themselves.
But like say sorry and fix it.
I feel like so many people have unhealed trauma too, and that's another reason. So like there's people that like what you're saying, it makes sense because there's people that don't know that that's the proper way to apologize, right? Like they never went, and I mean therapy didn't become normalized until what, recently? Like I feel like if people were like, oh, you go to therapy, you're crazy, you must be. It didn't become normalized until recently. So I feel like there's a lot of people that were unaware of that, and I feel like that goes into literally like people being in relationships and not understanding that you are two individual people with individual likes, like dislikes,
feelings, point of views,
and completely.
Because a lot of people see certain things differently than others.
Yes, and it's your job in a relationship, and if you decide to pursue that relationship, it's your job as a human to try to empathize with your other person. Like it's literally just your job, if you care about that relationship, to try to be like, you know what, I didn't even think that what I said or what I did was gonna affect you that way, so let's bring it back, and how can I make it better? People need to understand that you are your own individual person when you're in a relationship. Like you are not like that whole like we are one shit. Like we are not one.
When you become one and y'all just rely on each other all the time, you start to lose yourself.
I've never been like that, so I can't relate, but I know people like that, that they'll be your friends and they are your friends and they get into a relationship, they'll dead you. And then like when things are going terrible or when they break up, they're like, oh hey girl, do you wanna sis, I was going through life for the last 9 months. Where have you been? I had a baby. No, I didn't have a baby.
No,
but,
man,
I didn't have a baby, but like
baby.
No, but like literally like 9 months, 10 months pass by and it's like
crazy. You're being nice. You're saying 9 or 10 months, but really it's 2 years and 9 months.
2 years and 9 months.
You have a whole different career. You moved.
You in a whole different country.
So no, can I come through? Can we have a drink? I left the state.
We talk about like toxic or like red flags in relationships, but what are some green flags, especially you, like that you're navigating now a different relationship? And I feel like you as a being, you've evolved so much in the last couple of years that I've met you. So like I'm pretty sure your relationship now reflects that.
I would say that some green flags are, I don't know if I'm saying this right, I feel like it's like very bland, but like honesty. Like I at first, and it's funny because this is actually probably a toxic trait of mine, but at first my boyfriend never tells me something that I want to hear just to make me hear it, like just to have me hear it. Like if he dislikes something that I show him, whatever it may be, he'll be like, no, I don't like that. And at first, when we first started dating, I was just like,
what you mean?
What are you talking about? You don't like it. Like you can't just say you like it, like just to like, you know, like, oh yeah, it's fine, you know, like. And he's like, no, why would I do that? Why would I say that I like something if I don't like something? And literally in the beginning of our relationship, like I would hate that. I literally would be like, no, just tell me what I want to hear. Like how dumb is that?
No, but I get it.
Right? So like I just appreciate that so much, and I just feel like it made me learn what he likes more and more, and he knows what I like more. So there's certain things that like I know he's just not a fan of, and like he's not gonna lie to me and tell me he likes it. So I don't have to talk to him about it. And that goes into like me being my own individual person and him being his own individual person with his own likes. Obviously you don't want somebody that's gonna like shut you down, but like you want somebody who's gonna be honest with you and not lie to you just to make you feel better. And I think that's the biggest thing. Manipulation.
Wow. Oh, good?
We're good.
So
the way I'm getting lit off keto so easily, like, bro, honestly, I'm lit right now.
For real?
I didn't even have a whole margarita.
That's so sad.
I know.
I miss the older.
Me too.
I'm so old, Marbz.
When it comes to like being in a relationship for me, I wouldn't want everybody to know about me being in a relationship. Especially since like on social media, my social media is more about building a brand.
I'm building my brand too on my page, so I definitely understand where you're coming from. But like my man, he ain't building no brand, he already secure, so he needs to
this bitch Aggie.
He needs the show.
I'm done.
But also I feel
show me.
a lot of guys are more private on social media, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're ashamed of who they're dating. It's just that like I don't know. It's kind of like
look at her toxic.
It's kind of like a guy thing. Like you just don't necessarily want to like post your. I feel like once you start posting relationship things, it almost becomes your social media becomes more about relationship.
Yeah.
Like people expect it, and they're like, "Are y'all still dating?" And you just open so many other things.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think that you like once you get to that point where you're posting so much, you definitely have to like. It's almost like you have to answer to people. You don't have to, but like
but you feel obligated too, and people are asking you in random stories like, "Are you out with so and so?" or "Are y'all still a thing?" You haven't posted them in a while, and I think it's a problem. It's really good to have that privacy sometimes.
I think that's another reason why. Like, I mean, I think this is all like it pretty much all kind of is a ball of why the fuck relationships fail. Like all of these reasons, but I think that like. That is a big thing too, is like people's sense of entitlement online gets other people riled up, right? Yeah. So like, I don't know, my man could post something on his story, right? And this actually happened to me before. He posted something on his story, like he reposted like this famous Instagram girl, and she had like a cute outfit on, and he put it on his story because her outfit was cute, and somebody was like, Did your man post this and say yes, but he was eating my ass yesterday, so it's fine.
You know what?
I'm like, but no, but it's true though. But people insert themselves and then it brings self-doubt.
I don't like that. People to literally hit me up like, what? No.
Like,
Don't worry about it.
No,
I got this.
Don't worry
God,
about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. But like,
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. That's flat.
We need to do another part 2 of this because like,
No,
literally
there's
like
a lot.
friends interjecting in your relationship is a problem. Like sometimes maybe I just want to vent to you because maybe you can give me an advice that I can bring to my man, like, oh no, Yulissa, like, you know what, but maybe another time I just want to let it out so I don't come off as a hothead when I talk to my man.
But I feel like, to be fair,
yes,
when venting to friends, you have to almost like let them know that.
Yeah.
It's only fair to let them know that because I feel like there's certain people that will just vent about how bad things are and don't do anything. And it gets to a point, if you're a real friend, you got to be like, you have to do something.
If you're consistently, but
like,
I feel like if you call,
but if it's like, if it's a one
this
time,
ain't get me mad
oh
today.
yeah, exactly.
He's so fucking annoying.
Exactly.
It's like, okay.
No, but
like,
it's
I'ma
only because I feel like there's certain people that will complain about it and continue talking about it and not do anything. You're almost like,
toxic.
yeah, that's toxic. Back to toxic behavior. But honestly, I feel like we hit a lot of key points from like the new generation to like the older generation to like feeling like you can't leave to like insecurities and communication, which is the most important thing, and of course honesty, like
and
all those different, and holding people accountable, being transparent. All of those things are very important, and honestly I feel like relationships don't last because too many people are too afraid to just honestly say how they feel.
I feel like relationships don't last because, going back to why Dwayne said men don't like to post women all the damn time, because they have too many options, and that could be my toxic elevating me right now.
It is. Your toxic is elevating me because women got just as much options.
They do. And
if not more. Do you know how many men I could bag today if I wanted to?
all I know is
And
that she definitely got triggered because her pupils dilated. Y'all can't see it.
No, you can't, but they got like this.
They dilated when she said,
not post on social
not
media.
post me.
She got Super Saiyan real
Triggered.
quick. She was
No, you can post me on the story for like, you just need to let everybody know that you have a girlfriend. Like sometimes, like, you know, but then at the same time, I don't know, because people take that also like as a promiscuous invitation, and it's like, how do you win?
No, you just can't. I think that at the end of the day, and to end this all, basically we just have to understand that there's just, everybody needs to find a happy medium.
Yes.
So everybody needs to find what works for them, but also make sure you're holding yourself accountable, and you also don't think that relationships don't take work, because they do. You can love somebody and you're not settling, like, but you're still working on a relationship with them. Just because it's hard work doesn't mean that it's not a good relationship. It just means that you're learning about the other person and you're making compromises for love, and that's it.
And as long as the compromises aren't changing your character, it's fine.
And your
because
boundaries.
nobody's perfect.
Exactly.
Nobody's perfect, and something you think that might be a good trait about you could be like a bad one.
Yes.
And
like
that's
being
something.
late.
Oh.
The what?
The what? No, but honestly, guys, thank you so much for coming and listening to this conversation and this debate and our talk, and thank you.
And thanks, Yuli.
Yuli, for coming.
We love her.
I love them.
Super excited.
You need to be a little bit more self-aware, learn your love languages, and learn some green flags.
Period. That's it.
She said what she said.
She said what she said, and that's it.
What is something that you want to work on in relationships if you're together with a partner? And if you're single, what is something you want to work on to become more self-aware?
I like that.
Work on them green flags.
Work on them.
That's a really good one.
That is good. So that.
Cheers. Thank you so much for having me.